the one! That's the stinking beast that took my treasure!
What happened? Untie me right now!
I am Chief Lightfoot, and we don't like thieves.
You think after a nearby Cloud Runner helps Fox out of trouble, the first thing he would think to do is get the hell out of the Lightfoot village. But instead, Tricky insists they look for Werezilla.
Oh, not you again. We know you didn't take our treasure, so just go away. Yeah. So, you looking for Werezilla spirits, eh?
Wait, how did you know him without Fox actually saying anything? Anyway, Fox beats their trials of speed and strength in order to become an honorary tribe member so he can get the third Werezilla spirit. So, Fox, that whole mess about us trying to repeatedly stab you to death, we cool, right?
Make the button stop!
After returning the spirit to the Werezilla Palace, Fox and Tricky meet with the Queen Earthwalker, who reveals the king is being held at Wal City, yet another location separated from the planet. They head up there to see the Earthwalkers forced out of the city, and it's been overrun by T-Rexes known as the Redeye tribe. If you don't mind me asking, why, why can't I just shoot at them from the sky in my R-Wing? We aren't even given the option despite the fact that would be the smarter thing to do, instead of getting into biting distance to throw explosives at the things. Makes me miss the Landmaster, and I hated those levels. They meet with the King Earthwalker, who lets Fox know the King Redeye has the Spellstone. Yeah, I guess I can handle the King. I mean, the idea of the female of the species being more deadly than the male does apply to T-Rexes, so I think I can get through this. Oh crap, 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 oh crap! Whew! Fox returns the Spellstone to the Volcano Temple, and then, after recovering another Werezilla spirit, this time in the Snowhorn Wastes, Fox and Tricky meet with a Thorntail that's been suspiciously quiet every other time the player tries to talk to him. Apparently he tried to fight Scales and failed, and now 3 of his friends are being held captive at Dragon Rock, the last location in orbit. Fox heads up there and ends up freeing the Thorntail's 3 friends, an Earthwalker, an Apatosaurus from the High Top tribe, and a Cloud Runner.
Hey, aren't you a friend of Crystal?
How do you know Crystal?
How does Fox? When was he ever told her name? The Cloud Runner warns Fox that the Spellstone is being guarded by some kind of mutant dinosaur Scales created. Wait a minute, that's not a mutant dinosaur. It's Red from Spyro A Hero's Tale. Damn it, I told the Professor I should have killed him when I had the chance. Needless to say, Fox finishes what Spyro started and retrieves the Spellstone. And after all that running around Soria, fighting various dinosaurs and other creatures, and all our hard work, is not paid off, as putting the Spellstones back into the temples do not put the planet back together. I blame you for this, Warpstone. Peppy, the King, and Queen Earthwalkers are able to figure out that they need to return all the Werezilla's spirits as well, or the pieces won't return to the planet, even with the magic energy now nullified by the Spellstones. They're just making up how this planet works as they go along, aren't they? Fox returns to the Walled City and gets the 5th Werezilla's spirit. By the way, the other Earthwalkers are no help, and then says his goodbyes to Tricky. Wait, why? That's only the 5th Werezilla, not the 6th, and the 2 know this. Unless they knew the 6th Werezilla shrine was already at the palace, which according to General Pepper, they didn't, so this makes no sense. I think some dialogue may have been left out here. Anyway, after releasing the 5th spirit and arriving at the shrine for the 6th, Fox and Scales prepare for their epic final battle.
Stop! Scales! You are no longer any use to me!
Who are you? I demand you show yourself!
I am the one you brought to Werezilla Palace. The Earthwalkers could see me, but you could not.
I don't understand.
No, I didn't think you would. Your desire for power overwhelmed you and blinded you to the truth inside. Now give Fox what he's looking for. Give him the final Krazoa spirit.
You will regret this.
Okay, Scales isn't the main villain of the game. They haven't done any kind of foreshadowing that there's a man behind the man before this, so I call cop-out. Fox releases the final spirit and frees Crystal from her imprisonment. However...
I am reborn, the mighty Krazoa god. Kneel, those that stand before me.
Kneel before Zod!
Wait a minute, the Krazoa? The spirits that were established to give life to this planet are the main villains? How does that make any kind of sense? Wait a minute. This is a Nintendo game. What did Fox say earlier?
But that voice, I recognize it from somewhere.
It's not the Krazoa, is it?
I've been looking forward to this day. To see you again, Fox McCloud.
Andros!
Yes, Andros, the main villain of the first game, coming straight out of nowhere with no build-up or foreshadowing. It's just like in many of the Legend of Zelda games. They build up a new villain, only to reveal it was all a trick and the real main villain was Ganon all along. And now Andros has done it too. Fox fights Andros in a copy of the final battle from the previous game, and with some last-second help from Falco, who's been absent the entire game, Andros is defeated once again. And with his defeat, the Krazoa are returned to the planet, putting Soria back together. But Scales is still dead. The Sharp Claws are probably gonna be pissed. Never mind. The rest of the Star Fox team meets back up on their ship, and Falco even decides to stick around. Yep, he left for no explained reason, so why not have him come back for no explained reason? Oh yeah, and Crystal decides to show up and thank Fox.
Well, okay. I mean, sure, no problem.
Did I mention this series has a big following amongst furries?
You're not shy, are you, Fox?
My sensors indicate Fox's temperature is rising.
The boy's pheromone levels suggest he wants to mate with the female.
Are you okay, Fox?
I'm gonna be just fine.
He sure is! You know, if you're into that kind of thing. This game was definitely a huge departure from the rest of the series, and there's a very good reason for that. If all the mystical elements add to a franchise that was purely sci-fi up to this point, and then don't end up meshing well together, well, that's because this game wasn't originally going to be a Star Fox game. Originally, it was going to be a new game, Dinosaur Planet, with dual protagonists of new characters Saber and Crystal, who strangely enough wore an outfit that had a lot less fan service. Andros would have been nowhere to be seen, and Scales would have been the main villain as intended. I have no idea how the Krazoa would have been involved, but regardless, if it had been his own original game, it would have made a lot more sense. But despite the fact it makes no sense to be a Star Fox game, is it still good in its own right? Yeah, I guess it is. While the story suffers due to a lot of things being cut because of Star Fox characters were being put in place of original characters that actually fit the game better, it's still interesting and amusing to play. I do have a lot of questions as to why, if the native population of Soria are massive dinosaurs, that there are so many smaller places that only characters of Fox's size could fit. This leads me to the unfortunate implication that the Sharp Claws may have been a slave race that were forced to work in all these locations before Scales decided to take over. But again, that could just be the fact that a lot of the story was cut and I'm just overthinking it. And that's a huge shame because since from what I've heard, it would have involved a much bigger and involving story. But because of similarities with Fox that were superficial at best, the end result, while still a decent third-person adventure game, would have been better off if it remained in its original form. And that'll happen when you take one story idea and try to integrate with a completely different franchise. It's bound to become the black sheep of the series by default. And the strange thing is, I can't help but get this feeling I've forgotten something. Something that's a staple to the Star Fox series. What is it?
Do a barrel roll!
There we go. That's what I was looking for.